We can't hear you.
I said I hope it works smoothly, and look what happens. So, hi, I'm Becca Reese. I'm just gonna wait a few moments because I have some people that will be coming in virtually, and then we'll get started. So thank you for joining us.
All right.
Hi, Katrina. Nice to see you.
Yes, good evening. Nice to see you too. Is Britt there in person?
She was here for the installation yesterday, so she's not here.
Okay.
She's joining right now.
Oh, well, that's great. I got a message that she was traveling. I thought, oh, maybe she'll be there.
So, Britt, are you on?
I'm on.
There you are. You were just asked about.
I'm here and I'm hot off the delivery.
The truck?
The delivery route.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
It looks amazing.
Is it just us?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn my camera on.
You are also being recorded and also being projected to the room of in-person guests. So I'll try and turn the computer, and then we're going to take turn both in person and virtually with speakers from both distance and in-person speakers.
We'll just listen to you, Becca.
So I'll turn off my video, but I'm here. Thanks for being here.
So I'm just going to give it 2 more minutes.
That's great.
And then Elise. Elise? No, not yet. I just want you ready. No, you can come up because you're not in the video. And that's Donna, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. Oh, God. Oh, and I was not muted. I thought I muted myself. Well. Okay.
Hi, Elise.
We had some technical difficulties with our PowerPoint slides, but we're just going to cycle through a few photos, both of the Humanities Center and the partners, as well as our local partners, some who are and can't be here today, and also a few photos from the installation yesterday. So I think if you just go down on the bottom to the desktops. There, so there you can see us hauling in the equipment. This is a, oops, I'm gonna let one more in.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, this is the weirdest exhibit opening I've had yet as a curator. So just bear, they didn't teach me this in museum school.
snapshot of what it looks like. I hope those that aren't here physically today can come in at some point. That would be wonderful if you guys could see it in person. So I know some of you have seen it in other locations. And the middle photo on the left, that's me and Elise, who will be speaking in just a moment. After getting most of it set up, along with Britt and Britt, is it Paul? Is that Paul in the background?
Correct.
Yes, who was also great in helping us set up. So it's a beautiful exhibit. We're happy that it's here. And with that, we're a few minutes after 6. So you can stop sharing, Anita. And then I am going to introduce, so I'm Becca Reese. I'm the community conservationist with the North St. Louis Soil and Water Conservation District. We're co-hosting, I suppose, with the Minnesota Discovery Center. Very, very excited that it's here, but I'm first gonna let Elise introduce it from the site here as the Minnesota Discovery
All right. Hi, everyone. Can you guys all hear me? We're all good? Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do like a dual thing here. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Elise Freeman, and I am the curator here at the Minnesota Discovery Center. And so before we get started, I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that this exhibit, where it's at, and the museum are both currently on the ancestral homelands of both the Dakota and Ojibwe people. And I feel like a land acknowledgement is the bare minimum that we can do in solidarity with our Indigenous brothers and sisters. And so I just wanted to honor that history tonight and begin with that. So having said that, I do want to thank you guys all for coming, both in person and virtually. And we're just very excited that we can finally open this exhibit. And it's basically been in the works for over a year. And speaking of that year, with it being just very difficult, we're glad to finally offer We Are Water Minnesota to our local communities. And so as a museum of the Iron Range, we focus on both the human and natural histories of this region. And so this exhibit perfectly exemplifies the multidisciplinary approach that we embody here at MDC. We utilize both the humanities and the sciences to tell our stories. And so we're very excited to showcase this amazing exhibit and show off how awesome water is, not just for our region, but for the entire state. I myself did not grow up on the Iron Range or even Minnesota. And so I quickly found, though, that in my short time up here, what a truly amazing resource this is for the quality of life of our region. Since my time on the Iron Range, I have made many excellent memories with water as the conduit. And it also has infiltrated even my historical research here as a curator at MDC. And so it really truly is just, I guess just, it comes in everywhere. And so with that, again, welcome and thank you. It's been a great experience working with everyone at the Humanities Center and all the different partners, and it's just been a really rewarding experience for me. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Rebecca.
All right, thank you, Elise. That was great. As a community conservationist with the North St. Louis Soil and Water Conservation, I do kind of a combination of things from outreach to science, water quality monitoring. My background is I did work a lot with interpretation and sort of the non-science stuff also. So when I first heard about We Are Water, I was so excited and I wanted it. After I saw it for the first time, I thought it was amazing. And we could really use it up here in terms of engaging the people in our region with the water resources and all the different ways that water connects to their lives. And of course, as Elisa talked about, it's definitely been a long time coming in the process with the pandemic and a year delay, but we're so glad that it's here and all the connections that we've made with many of the local and state partners. So when we first met way back in 2019, we came up with some goals, and I'm just going to quickly go through them and then talk about our events and then hand it off to our next speaker. So we wanted to share the histories of water because in our region, it will help provide the context and place of how water has and continues to shape our many different communities. We wanted to create opportunities to dispel fears in a safe place to learn from each other and create a community of practice around tolerance, understanding, and acceptance of different points of view. we wanted to engage youth, which has been a challenge in this last year, but I think we have a good plan. And then also build network for organizations to collaborate on water-related projects and programs. And then using education to increase awareness and understanding that will lead to positive behavior changes. All about behavior change when it comes to our actions around water. So what we have planned in addition to the exhibit, also starting today, is a virtual Bioblitz. So a Bioblitz is when you go out and you try and document as many organisms as you can. We're using it through the iNaturalist app. And it's kind of a challenge to do it during this time frame of the exhibit at select locations across the Iron Range of water bodies. We'll also have kind of a how-to webinar to do it on June 1st. The Spring Fling, which will be coming up on May 22nd, hosted by the Iron Range Partnership for Sustainability. Missy Roach, I think, will talk more about that, so I won't talk too long, but it will be there too with a smaller version of the exhibit. We have a speaker series that will be hosted by the Minnesota Discovery Center, from talking about the fur trade to modern day invasive species, with Natalia from the North St. Louis SWCD. And then we'll be hosted at the Minnesota Discovery Center is the We Do It for the Water play, which is a play about Indigenous people and their relationship with water. And then there'll be a couple adventure series trips to the Saxon Bog and the St. Louis River, and in the future, a water bar workshop so that we can engage more with our communities about water. And then lastly, we're developing a youth outreach kit for our youth that they can take and do with their families at home. So where all of this is going to be combined is a website called wearewaterironrange.com. So that's where I think will be the best place to kind of keep track of everything that's happening, in addition to the Discovery Center's website and the North St. Louis website. So now with that, I am going to pass it on to Katrina from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. So.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Excellent. Yeah, this is my first in-person virtual event, and I don't think it'll be my last, so I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you virtually this evening. I have been to the Discovery Center and am hopeful that I will be able to make it back there. I want to just say thank you to the North St. Louis County SWCD and the Discovery Center for hosting it and putting all this hard work into it, and your patience over the last year. As is highlighted in the exhibit, the Discovery Center is close to what's called the Triple Divide, where water is sent in 3 different directions: north to the Hudson Bay, south down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico, and east to the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And I think that's just such a cool, unique feature that can be celebrated and worth mentioning. And I would be remiss if I also didn't mention and give credit to Minnesota's Clean Water, Land, and Legacy Amendment, which provides the funding for the exhibit and also funds much of the Pollution Control Agency's watershed monitoring, which has made it possible for us to exponentially understand or exponentially increase our understanding of the condition of waters. It brings the technical science to it. And what's so cool about We Are Water is that it highlights the technical side alongside the heart and the feeling side and the story side. And you will see in the exhibit that people are telling their personal stories about connections that they have to northern Minnesota, and how at some point in their life they just realized what a unique and special lake dotted landscape that is. And I have had similar experiences. I've lived in Minnesota my whole life and have spent time each summer with my family and now my young children camping and recreating, swimming, fishing, and unplugging in that area. And I'm just so grateful. And then the last thing I'll just say is this group, as noted, was supposed to host the exhibit in April of 2020. And of course, in March of 2020, our whole world turned upside down. So I'm really excited that they're finally able to host it in that great building in Chisholm and to bring that community to the We Are Water exhibit. You all have demonstrated tremendous commitment and flexibility, and just really appreciate your persistence. So that's that's it for me, and I will pass it to the next speaker. Thanks.
Thank you, Katrina. Now we are going to hear from Missy Roach from the Iron Range Partnership of Sustainability.
Good evening. Good evening. So I've done in-person events, I've done virtual events, but I've never done both at the same time. So this is really cool. I am Melissa Roach. I am the Executive Director of Iron Range Partnership for Sustainability. And we are pleased, grateful, and humbled to be a part of this exhibit and to be in partnership with all of the organizations that are involved. Our mission is to just do that, facilitate a collaboration for a sustainable and thriving Iron Range. And this exhibit does exactly all of that, promoting sustainability, bringing people and communities together. We're raising awareness, focusing locally, engaging multiple generations, and fostering personal and planetary health. And so we're really excited about our, so I don't know, I'll keep going. We're really excited about our Spring Fling event, which will elevate the conversation once again about water and loons and soil. It's called Tackle, Tulips, and Solar Tours. We're gonna have the Tackle Exchange event, and we're gonna have a tulip giveaway, and then we're gonna start off our solar tour, which will go throughout the summer and put the focus on various communities, Grand Rapids, Virginia, Hibbing, and Ely, and area businesses that have solar established solar power. And the Spring Fling event is Saturday, March 22nd at the Klein Cupoletti Building on Silver Lake in Virginia. And you're all invited to come. And all of you out there, make the trip to Virginia. Thank you for hosting us here, and thank you to all of you, our partners. We look forward to this collaboration and to future collaborations. Thank you.
All right, next we have Kristen Hansen from R&B Labs. So come on up, Kristen.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Hansen from R&B Environmental Laboratories. We have 3 different labs across, over the state. So we're in Detroit Lakes, Hibbing, and Bloomington. We work primarily with waters. We do anything from surface waters to drinking waters to to wastewaters. So we do the analysis side of it all. I grew up in Minnesota, northern Minnesota. I am from up here. So it became a passion of mine to be an environmental science person. So because I care about what happens up here and where our waters go. Yeah, it's been a really good experience. I've been in a laboratory setting for almost 10 years now, dealing with just all kinds of different people and clients and different waters and finding ways to make it better for them and following their permits. We pride ourselves in water quality. Taking it to the next step of building relationships and, and following through on that with our clients and our staff and our technologies. So, yeah, that's it. Oh, and thank you, Becca, for having me involved in all of this and the Discovery Center and the We Are Water project. It's been very interesting to be a part of it all. So thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to see if I can adjust one thing. Sorry, we had a slight. Or maybe. Oh, okay. Don't know what happened. Okay, so next I am going to hand it off to Troy Selzer from St. Louis County Extension.
Good evening to all of you. I'm really feel very honored to be a part of this evening. In regards to my involvement with this process, I am extremely grateful that we would consider honoring or including someone that represents agriculture in relationship to this particular display. Northeastern Minnesota isn't necessarily known for its agriculture production industry, but we have selected a farm that is water quality certification certified, a farm known for its aggressive approach to growing perennial crops, but also utilizing things like cover crops to improve the water infiltration, to keep the soil covered, to improve the health both above ground and below ground in relationship to their production practices in relationship to grazing their beef cattle in a sustainable manner while incorporating and encouraging the uptake of water, because water is so critical in relationship to growing plants for this particular exhibit. I'd encourage you all to take note of the display in regards to the agriculture component, not only representing the Hellstrom farm, but also other aspects in the state of Minnesota in relationship production agriculture. So thank you for the opportunity, and I hope you all enjoy the display as much as I have so far.
Great, thanks, Troy. And now we're gonna move to the rest of our virtual presenters. We do have many other partners, some that could be here, some that could not be here, that we're thankful for. And on that PowerPoint slide showed all the different partners or contributors, people or organizations that contributed in some way to developing the project, which has taken a little bit longer than some of the others because of the pandemic. So we're grateful for everyone in any way that they've participated. And things have been a challenge for all of us. So I'm going to hand it off to Kevin Lindsay, who is the CEO of the Minnesota Humanities Center, who, which we are so grateful to the Humanities Center and the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency and all those state partners who have put the whole program together.
All right. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone tonight for the kickoff event. We Are Water has been around since 2016, and those partners have included the Pollution Control Agency, Minnesota Department of Health, Minnesota Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Natural Resources, as well as our partner, the Minnesota Historical Society. So we have been very fortunate to have such good partners and to have been able to bring this type of an exhibit, traveling exhibit, to cities throughout all of Minnesota since 2016. I do want to call out too, and you're right, if I went through all the partners, I'd probably hyperventilate. I wouldn't be able to breathe through it. So I'll just limit it to two. Elise and Becca, specifically, we like to say playing jazz because you start out sometimes with a jazz number and then you all of a sudden have to change up. So we appreciate all the jazz that you've played over the last year to be able to pull this off. So we really want to thank you for that the way that you've persevered over this last year. So thank you very, very much. And I will have to say, Jordan Metz is getting way too much credit in virtual land. I'm going to have to tease him the next time that I see him that he's getting all this kind of credit. My water story, since people have been talking about work, I think I'll change it up a little bit, and appreciating that sometimes we use water to recreate and have fun. So for me, having 3 boys and having taken them to Cub Scouts and then making sure that they can get their swimming badge, putting them in the water, or being in a canoe and being able to paddle was very important to me and built great relationships with my boys. And I'm sure that there are many of you that are going to be going through the exhibit that will be willing to share those kind of stories. And I think that that's important because that builds that connection to stewardship. Appreciate the way that everybody has framed it. And for the Minnesota Humanities Center, we think of our vision as a justice society that's curious, connected, and compassionate. And I think the way that you've talked about it really lives into that, coming with open minds and hearts and thinking about water, talking about the connectedness of how we see it and how we see relationships with one another. And actually, I've heard you talk about wanting to spark change and thinking about ways in doing things differently. So we're very happy and fortunate and look forward to this fantastic next 8 weeks that we're going to have We Are Water in a beautiful area of Duluth and Chisholm and all of the respective areas that it's going to be in. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, and then next virtually we have Jalen Strong, who's the director of the Boys Fort Heritage Center.
Bonjour, Ginoan, Ninsa Beba Mashan Dishnikas, Dick and Dudim, speaking as Zagigan Dunjaba. First, I wanted to thank Becca for getting it all started, and then Elise to be able for helping us and having a place to house the We Are Water meetings. I think what I'd like to say is that, you know, I'm just thankful for the opportunity that, you know, we've been given to kind of influence someone like the Native and hear some of the Native voice and be able to vocalize the Native aspect to water. Not necessarily always has to be like a cultural, spiritual type standpoint, although a lot of it kind of is. But as Kevin said, just being able to have that connectedness and being able to kind of realize that, you know, the water, realize how important the water is and how much of a role that it plays in all of our lives, just on an everyday life and kind of in a recreational time to, you know, get away. One of my favorite things throughout these meetings was Becca always having a icebreaker or like a water breaker almost, and having something to always to do with a memory dealing with water or something you're looking forward to that has to deal with water. And I think that being able to share that with everybody was really made it feel a lot more familiar, I guess, and it made it more fun to attend these meetings and be able to feel free to speak up if I ever had any concerns, or allow people to see that there, you know, there's a lot of similar minds out there, and allow at least me as representative of at least for the Boys Fort tribe to feel comfortable up here with this program and with the exhibit. Miigwech, thanks.
Thank you. I had fun with those icebreakers. I don't know. Yes, thank you. Okay, then I know we've gone over that 15 to 20 minutes I said. So Jennifer, do you have anything to add, or anyone else? Because I don't want to miss anyone's voice in the program.
Can I be so brief? And I'm gonna beg your indulgence. Can you turn that camera of the computer so we can see the other people in the room? Because I know there's a whole other group of people in there.
Sure.
Oh, there we go. Oh, hello, everyone. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. This is beautiful. Yay. Oh, and there's Britt. Yay. So I just also want to say thank you. I'm Jennifer Tonko. I'm a humanities officer with the Minnesota Humanities Center. And I really want to I want to thank all of you for all of your work. It has been tremendous. You were all geared up. We were like so close. We were really like talking about how to launch this in your place. And then just, you know, the world didn't turn upside down. It turned inside. At least that was my experience of it. So I really appreciate your flexibility with this. And I'm so impressed with the events that you all have curated and that you have planned, that you're looking forward to. One of the most meaningful experiences with this program that I've gotten to have was with Sharon Day with the Indigenous Peoples Task Force, who is coming up to do the play in your community. But when she was down in Northfield, which is where I live, we walked the Cannon River as a Nibi walk. And that experience was so powerful to me because I got to really put the geography of the river in my body, right? I got to walk along it and see how all of these towns were connected by the river, because my experience before was how they're connected by the highways, right? And so to see how they're really, it's the river that brings them there, and the highways are just how we get our cars around, was really meaningful. And then that knowledge of how to get to the river and some of the amazing places on the river was really what got my family through this last year, right? Being able to go to the river and have a place to be that was beautiful and special, that we could be in and feel comfortable and safe, was so important. So I know that you all have crafted experiences like that in your adventure series that you have coming up. And, you know, as people are learning more about their place through the Bioblitz, like you've crafted experiences for other people to have that and build that into the future. So that's one of the things that I'm just most proud of and so excited for all of you. So thank you for doing that work, and thank you for really playing jazz, as Kevin said, and digging it. Thanks for having us here tonight.
Well, anybody else? I do want to just give a last call before we go and take a look at the exhibit.
Sorry to make you that angle, Becca.
Is actually Donna. Donna from the Minnesota Discovery Center.
I don't have anything scripted, and hi everybody. I'm good. But I just want to thank everybody in this room. I haven't been involved in the We Are Water meetings because I have talented staff that can do that. I don't just have my fingers in everything. But I don't know what excuse they're going to use anymore when they were going to say, I have a We Are Water meeting. I can't come. But it's important work we're doing, and it's just an honor to be able to have it here at the Discovery Center. And beyond this exhibit, I hope our relationships and our partnerships and our brainstorming, our ideas will just grow. From here, there's more we can do. But thank you to everybody on the screen too. I hear your names, so it's nice to see your faces. I've met some of you, but not all of you. But thank you, and spread the word. And what can we do next? So thank you for coming.
Well, with that, thank you all for joining us virtually, and I'm going to end the Zoom, and I hope you guys have a lovely evening. It's beautiful weather here. I hope it is there for you too. Bye. Wave, everybody.